Hello students, today we are going to learn about animal breeding. Let me try to understand what is animal breeding. So breeding of an animal is an important aspect of any animal husbandry. Okay, as we have discussed that animal breed is most important thing or most important criteria during animal husbandry. Animal breeding aims at increase the yield of animals and improving the desirable quality of the produce or the products which is means we get from the animal. Okay, so what is the aim of animal breeding? Animal breeding aim is to increase the yield of animal and products of the animal and improving the quality, means here quantity as well as quality both will be improved by using animal breeding. Okay, so what do we understand by the term breed? What is a breed? Okay, so let me understand what is the term breed says. A group of animal. What is a breed? A group of animal related by descent and similar in most character. Okay, means it is the descent and similar in most characters like general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. and are said to be belong to breed. So what is a breed? Let me repeat. A group of animals related by descent and similar in most character. Means most character will be similar like general appearance, features, size, configuration and are said to be belong to a breed. Okay, and when a breeding is between animal of the same breed, means animal of the same breed, if breeding occur, that is called inbreeding. So breeding are of two kind, inbreeding and outbreeding. So what is the inbreeding? Inbreeding is the breeding between animals of same breed and it is called inbreeding. While what is called outbreeding? Outbreeding is the crosses between different breeds. Okay, so crosses between different breed occur, then it is called outbreeding. So by this way, breeding can be of two kinds, outbreeding and inbreeding. So now let me go through a detailed description. What is the inbreeding? So inbreeding refer to the mating of a more closely related individual. Here it is more closely related individual met together. Okay, within the same breed and almost 4 to 6 generations. So this is the definition of inbreeding. So let me repeat. Inbreeding refers to the mating of more closely related individual. When more closely related individual will mat together and within the same breed for the 4 to 6 generations. Okay, the breeding strategy is as follow. Means how it is come, means how this breeding will be selected. So breeding strategy is as follow. You can see here superior male, which are considered as a superior male. A male with having a high qualities, high characteristic are called, or we can say more desirable characteristic are considered as a superior male. And superior female, same females are considered as a superior female of the same breed are identified. First of all, out of all breeds, superior male and superior female of a wanted or we can say desirable characteristic will be identified and then mated in pairs. Okay, then they will mate together. The progeny obtained from such a mating, see here you can see what is the inbreeding. Okay, so here one superior male is selected, superior female is selected, then in between them one mating process occur and as a result of that whatever progeny occur is called breed. Okay, the progeny obtained from such a mating are evaluated and superior males and female among them are identified for further mating and these breed will now further mate with superior male or a female. Okay, a superior female in the case of cattle is the cow or a buffalo. Mostly cow and buffalo that produce more milk per lactation and that is a desirable character. For any farmer, more milk production and lactation period is desirable character and that's why such a female is considered as a superior female. As I told you, superior female are the female which have more important characteristic, more desirable characteristic. Okay, and that is called superior female. On the other hand, what is a superior male? Superior male is mostly bull, which gives rise to superior progeny. Okay, and as compared to those of other males, in compared to other males, they have the ability, means such a superior male have the ability to produce a breed which is superior. Okay, so by these ways, superior male and superior female from the all breeds and all the progenies will be selected. After the selection of a superior male and superior female, it is tried to recollect homozygous pure line. Now here we have to identify what is a homozygous pure line, which we will learn in detail, in very much detail in the chapter number 5. But here we have to just summarize and just we have to get the idea what is actually homozygous pure line. So here in this diagram you can understand, here a capital A indicate dominant allele, that is a gene, dominant gene which will be expressed. Now be very clear, a dominant gene is the gene which will be expressed as a characteristic, whereas a recessive gene is the gene which will be remain as it is without means expression. Okay, so dominant allele is the allele which will express, whereas the small a, which is considered recessive allele, will not express. Okay, so here in these character you can see capital A characteristic will be expressed, whereas the small a characteristic will not express. Okay, so this is the dominant and recessive. We will learn in detail in chapter number 5, but up to this we have to just identify what is a homozygous pure line. So when both the characteristic, here you can see one characteristic is the dominant and one characteristic is a recessive. So this is not a homozygous, this is called heterozygous pure line. Okay, and this is, you can see here, dominant, so you have to select a dominant one, or we can say homozygous. Both the character, both the allele must be a dominant one. Here you can see. Okay, this is also homozygous, but this is a homozygous recessive. So you have to avoid this selection. So after superior male and superior female is selected, then a mating process occur. You can see the progeny. Okay, out of this progeny you can understand these will be selected, this will be selected because these are a dominant type of homozygous pure line. Okay, this is not selected because it is not a means it is not a homozygous, it is a heterozygous. Here you can see both, if capital AA it indicate dominant allele, so you have to select a dominant allele together. So this is a homozygous, this is a heterozygous, one is capital A, one is a small a, so this is a heterozygous. Okay, this is also heterozygous and this is homozygous, so these breed will be selected. Okay, and further if mating occur in between this, you can see both the recessive allele meet together. This is also a homozygous, but this is a homozygous recessive because both the recessive allele mix in the same animal, so you cannot select this. Okay, so in different term we can say a dominant allele in this case will be desirable allele. Okay, and small a, which is recessive, is undesirable. So these animals show undesirable expression. So you have to means avoid this animal. And these will have both kind of allele which is dominant and that's a desirable character they will express, and that's why you have to select this one. So to try to recollect means after the selection of superior male and superior female, you have to recollect homozygous pure line developed by the Mendel. You will learn in detail in chapter number 5. A similar strategy used for developing pure line in cattle and as was used in case of peas. Okay, in Mendel case we will learn in chapter number 5. We will learn about the peas related cases. So it is same in the case of these cattle. Inbreeding increase homozygosity. Here you can see increase the homozygosity. What is the increase in homozygosity? This is the inbreeding, means nearly relative will be met together. That's why it is a very more chances to means recollect the recessive characters. Here you can see homozygosity of recessive character will be increased. Thus, inbreeding is necessary if we want to evolve a pure line. What is a pure line? A pure line is the same character which is which will be passed from the parenthood. Okay, parent generation. So this is called a pure line, and pure line is always homozygous. Okay, this is a homozygous and this is also homozygous, whether this is heterozygous. So heterozygous is not considered as a pure line. Pure line means it must be homozygous. So inbreeding increase homozygosity, and when inbreeding is used, so whenever the farmer inbreeding is necessary if we want to evolve a pure line. If you want to evolve a pure line, then this inbreeding is very important task. Inbreeding expose harmful recessive genes. Here you can see so many times if inbreeding occurs, so at that time recessive gene in the same animal will get together. Okay, so this animal is very harmful now. Okay, because it having a recessive gene means what? It will express unwanted or undesirable character. Okay, this is harmful for the farmers. So inbreeding exposes harmful recessive gene that are eliminated by the selection. We can select the animal, okay, and you can avoid this animal which have a recessive genes or undesirable genes. It also helps in accumulation of superior gene and elimination of less desirable genes. So by this process you can also accumulate superior genes, okay, and elimination of less desirable genes. Therefore this approach, whereas there is a selection at each step, increase the productivity of the inbred population. So by this way selection occur. Okay, you can select the breeds and you can inbreed population productivity you can increase. However, continue inbreeding. So one harmful, or we can say drawback is also there. However, continue inbreeding. If you do continue inbreeding, what happen? Especially close inbreeding usually reduce fertility. Sometimes what happen? If you continue inbreed and inbreed and inbreed, what happen in generation to generation, after 5 generation, 6 generation, okay, it will be outcome that reduce the fertility. It will reduce the fertility and it is very harmful for the farmers. Even it will reduce productivity. This is called inbreeding depression. So you can understand here, you can see only a first generation have only one undesirable character, right? Okay, only first generation have only one undesirable character. After mating, what happened? Out of these four, two have a undesirable character. Okay, if mating occur in between these two, then what happened? This is the inbreeding mating, right? So because here you can see near relative are mating together, so here inbreeding mating is occur, and as a result of that, in previously it was only one undesirable character. In second generation you can see none of this is affected. Okay, all of them is the dominant. But here what happened in third generation, or we can say second generation, because this is the first, second and third generation. So here you can see both the undesirable character is mixed or expressed in the next generation, because this is a inbreeding, due to the inbreeding, and that's why this is called inbreeding depression. Okay, due to continue inbreeding mating, what happen? Undesirable character will be expressed in the single organism or single breed, and that is harmful. And such a phenomena is called inbreeding depression. Okay, so whenever this become a problem, suppose this problem is arise, then what you can do? Selected animal of the breeding population should be mated with the unrelated superior animal. So at that time what you can do for resolving this problem? You can mate this animal with superior male, okay, or a female animal of the same breed. This is usually help to restore fertility and yield. By this way you can overcome with the inbreeding depression. Second important breeding method is outbreeding. So let me understand what is outbreeding. Outbreeding is the breeding of the unrelated animals. Previously we have learned about inbreeding. So what we have learned during inbreeding process? Inbreeding is the breeding in between related animals. Okay, whereas in this case it is the breeding in between unrelated animals. So this is the main difference between inbreeding and outbreeding, which may be between individuals of the same breed, okay, but having no common ancestors. Their common means their ancestor must not be common, or between different breeds, that is called crossbreeding, or another way is also that different species in between different species, and that is called interspecific hybridization. These all are the methods of outbreeding. Okay, so next is outcrossing. So what is the meaning of outcrossing? This is the practice of mating of animals within the same breed. Okay, within the same breed, but having no common ancestor on either side of their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generation. Means up to 4 to 6 generation there is a no common ancestor. Here you can see breed A is there and here is a breed B. Both are having a different ancestor. Means breed A is also having different ancestor and breed B is also having different ancestor. They both are met together. Okay, and then a progeny that is called F1 generation will have 50% of A characteristic and 50% of B characteristic. Okay, by this way this type of a crossing is occur. The offspring of such a mating is known as a outcross. Okay, it is called as a outcross. The progeny which is generated is called outcross. It is the best breeding method for the animal that are below average in a productivity in milk production, or maybe a beef production in the cattle, etc. A single outcross often means if you do single outcross, then there is a chance to you can overcome from the inbreeding depression, which we have we have discussed already in previous slides. Now let me differentiate in between outcrossing and outbreeding. So first point of a difference is these means outcrossing refer to the mating of an animals within the same breed, okay, but having no common ancestor on either side. Their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generation means up to 4 to 6 generation there is a no common ancestor. Whereas the outbreeding, in these methods superior males of one breed are mated with the superior female of another breed. This is the difference, main difference. Okay, second point, help to overcome interbreeding depression. It will help in overcoming the interbreeding depression, whether in this case it will develop new stable superior breed. This is the differences between outcrossing and outbreed. Now next method is a crossbreeding. Okay, so let me understand what is a crossbreeding. In the method superior males, okay, in this method what is happen, superior males of one breed are mated with the superior female of another breed. Okay, male is from the one breed and the female will be taken from another breed. Okay, so by this way superior male and superior female will be selected from different breeds. Okay, and crossbreeding allow the desirable qualities of two different breeds to be combined, and by this way a combination of a desirable character will be obtained. Okay, the progeny hybrid animal may themselves be used for the commercial production. Okay, alternatively they may be subjected to some form of inbreeding sometime, and to develop a new stable breed that may be superior to existing breed. Okay, maybe in some cases many new animal breeds have been developed by this approach. Okay, for example we can take the example of Hisardale. Here you can see this is a Hisardale and it is developed, it is a new breed of a sheep. Okay, it is not a natural breed, it is a developed, means artificially developed. Hisardale is a new breed of a sheep developed by Punjab, okay, by crossing Bikaneri ewes. Here Bikaneri ewes is there and Merino rams. Okay, it is a combination, means crossbreed in between these two, and one new generation, new species is developed, and that is called. Let me understand what is the interspecific hybridization. Okay, in this method, male and a female animals of two different species, means two different species, male and female, is taken. Okay, and mating process occur in between. In some cases the progeny may combine desirable features. Okay, some desirable character from horse, some desirable characteristic from donkey. It is means combined in the mole. Okay, so by this way you can get the interspecific hybridization. In some cases, the progeny may combine desirable features of the both parent and may be considerable economic value. And for this, you can take the example of a mule, which is the combination between horse and the donkey. Okay, this is an interspecific hybridization. As a result of these two, you can see mule named organism is developed. Now let me go through some advanced methods of breeding in which artificial insemination is included. Okay, so let me learn about artificial insemination. So controlled breeding experiments are carried out using artificial insemination. Okay, in means what is done in this method? The semen is collected from the males. First of all, what is done? A semen is collected from the male that is chosen as a parent, that is a superior male, and injected into reproductive tract of the selected female artificially. Okay, so first of all semen will be collected from the male. Okay, and that selected semen will be injected in the reproductive tract of the female. okay, artificially. Okay, and the semen may be used sometime immediately, it may be used, or may be frozen for the some time and used at a later date. Choice is yours. Okay, it can also be transported in a frozen form to where the female is housed. Means at the female house it can be transported. In this way, desirable mating are carried out artificially. Okay, and some benefits are also there. Artificial insemination help us to overcome several problems of normal mating. So some problems which arise during normal mating can be overcome by using the artificial insemination. Another advanced method of breeding is a MOET. That means a multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. So let me discuss about this method. Often the success rate of crossing mature male in a female animal is fairly low. Okay, and even though artificial insemination is carried out, it is not functioning. Okay, to improve chance of a successful production of hybrids, other means are also used, and such a mean in which even artificial insemination is not working. So at that time, such a technology is used, and that is multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. Okay, it is one of a program for a herd improvement. Okay, so the crowd, it will be create some crowd, that is a herd improvement program. In this method, cow is administered hormones. Okay, cow will be given with the hormone, and that hormone is especially FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, and it will means improved technology in which cow is induced for the egg production. Okay, to induce follicular maturation means under the effect of follicular stimulating hormone, cow will show or induce a follicular maturation and superovulation. What is a superovulation? In general, cow will generally produce 1 to 2 eggs per cycle. Okay, but now due to effect of FSH or follicle stimulating hormone, instead of 1 to 2 eggs which they normally yield per cycle it is a normally that egg is produced will be 1 to 2, but due to FSH effect they will produce 6 to 8 egg at per one cycle. Means in the one cycle it will produce 6 to 8 eggs. Okay, the animal is either mated with a light bull or artificially inseminated. It is depend on the situation. The fertilized egg, so after mating what happened, fertilization occur with the semen. Okay, and as a result of that, that fertilized egg convert into zygote, and that zygote will undergo some several round of mitosis. As a result of that, it will convert into 8 to 32 cells. Okay, because cells will now increase in number up to 8 to 32 cells. And after this stage, means after when cell converted into 88 to 32 cell stage, at that time it will be recovered non-surgically and transferred to surrogate mother. Means it will be transferred to another cow. After transferring the fertilized egg into surrogate mother, now this genetic mother is available for another round of superovulation. That means the surrogate mother is used for the another development, means rest other development, and the genetic mother is used for the egg production. By this way, this MOET is working. This technology has been demonstrated for the cattle, sheep, rabbits, buffaloes, mares, these all type of animals. High milk yielding breeds of a female and high quality, that is a lean meat with the less lipid, meat yielding bulls have been bred successfully to increase herd size in a short time. So by using MOET we can increase the herd size, okay, in short time. Let me understand more by using this diagram. Here you can see one cow is utilized. It is given a hormone treatment, that is age 4 to 8 week old cow. Okay, and by this way under the effect of FSH it will produce some eggs, number of eggs, that is mostly 6 to 8 number of eggs. Then it will be artificially inseminated. Okay, artificial fertilization occur, and then when eggs reach up to the stage 8 to 32 number of cell, at that time these fertilized egg, after this stage it will be transferred to another female. Okay, inside the another female, and this female is now considered as a surrogate mother, and the delivery of the calf will be done by using this female, and that is surrogate now mother. Let me understand more about MOET by using this diagram. Here you can see this is the genetic mother it will act as a donor because it just donating the egg cells. Okay, and these donor cow will be injected with the FSH, that is a follicle stimulating hormone. As a result of that, estrous cycle will be induced, and as a result of that, it will generate 6 to 8 egg cells. Okay, and now these 6 to 8 cells will be fertilized by using male, okay, male semen, and semen will be collected artificially. Artificial insemination occur, and fertilization. After fertilization, you can see embryo will be developed. Okay, and these embryo, they can be stored for the further uses. Okay, means they may be stored for further use, or there may be embryo bisection, that is another method. Okay, and we are talking about MOET, so this is the pathway for the MOET. What happened in the MOET? This embryo at the 8 to 32 cell structure, that will be transferred in another cows. Okay, these another cows in which these embryo will be transferred. Now it is called surrogate mothers, because egg cells or means related structure is not of these cows. Okay, donor cow is this one, genetic mother is this one. Just these are the female cows in which just development of embryo will occur. Okay, and this is called a recipient cow or a surrogate cow. Okay, and then what happened? They will develop inside the womb, means the embryo will be developed inside the womb, and after pregnancy they will be parturiate and give birth to the newborns. In next lecture we will learn two topics, and that is beekeeping and fisheries. So till that, goodbye.